Today, Peter wanted me to cover a certain topic. Before I do, I want to start off with a question for what just happened nationally yesterday on March 16th. You guys know why yesterday was an important day? Anyone? What was the importance of yesterday? Anyone? Google it. Someone give me an answer. What was it? What was important about yesterday? I'll give you a hint. It relates to non-QM loans. Need another hint? They're not W-2'd. You guys don't know why March 16 was a relevant day? See? Anyone? Anyone even listening?
Dream 4 all ended.
Thank you, Harrison. It's the wrong answer. A good one, but on a national level. Man, come on, guys. This actually applies to all of you. I'm going to tell you why this applies to all of you. Well, it should for most of you. Well, I guess it depends. With some of you, I'm going to be very disappointed, actually. Oh, my goodness, guys. If you have a business entity, partnership, and S corporation, taxes were due yesterday. Yes, you're shaking your head. Right? Are you guys here? Here, Harrison, check this out. Are you guys here? Loan office, are you not 1099? Yeah, you're laughing now. Yes, you're 1099, so you're a business owner, right? So unless you are filing a sole proprietorship, it's not due until April 15th, obviously, but if you have some type of partnership, an LLC, S corp, whatever, your taxes were due. I just paid mine yesterday. Okay? So why are we bringing this topic up today? Well, because of the P&L program. Okay? So business owners, unless they move the deadline, file an extension, yes, their taxes were due. And some of them probably, I would say most of them, as myself, we filed taxes so we can minimize our tax liability, right? I looked at my tax bill and I was like, really, that's it? CPA? Dang, you did a good job. Heck yeah, I'll pay that, right? But what does that mean, right? What does that mean, guys? That means that my tax returns, my S corporation, file very, very little income, right? So very little income. I'm happy, right? But then on the flip side, that makes it a lot more difficult, or it restricts someone like me or you who did the same thing, a business owner, from qualifying for a conventional loan, correct? Yes? Yep, conventional Fannie, FHA, VAs, and all that. So Michael will know this very well. We're going to look at 3 different lenders that we have right now that are offering a P&L Second. Okay, and I say Michael because AmWest is one of them, right? So right now, I do have a few of these. I'm sure Freddie's going to get busy with. Is Freddie on today? I'm sure Freddie is going to get busy with this too. There's a lot of business owners that are entering 2026. They file their taxes. Maybe their CPA did a great job. And it's like, great, I don't have much tax liability, or maybe they do. But regardless, like, dang, we're going into the second quarter of 2026 already. And it's like, I need more cash, right? They go sit with a commercial loan officer, business consultant, whatever at the bank. They show them their tax returns. Sorry, you don't qualify with this. You don't cash flow because they're going to look at tax returns. So we as mortgage consultants then can show them the options of using going through a P&L Second. I have personally done several of these now, 3 to be exact, last year. So I'm going to share with you. Like, I know Peter has these robust presentations. Mine's like 3 slides, guys. Okay, so we'll go through it, but I'm going to also bring up the matrices for them and then reference it. Okay, so real quickly, I'm actually just kind of get to the meat and potatoes of it all first. Okay, there are 3 that we're going to look at: AmWest, Mega Capital, and Quantic. I did 2 with Quantic and with Mega Capital. I have not done with AmWest. Okay, but I will speak like as I have. And Michael, actually, if you want to chime in, please do so. Here, here's a quick comparison, guys. Okay, so all three of them, or I'm sorry, Mega Capital actually allows it to 750, Quantic and AmWest up to $500,000. Okay, you see the LTVs there. So Quantic and Mega is going to allow for a little bit more borrowing capability. All three of them max DTI is 50%. Minimum FICO score is there. Quantic is a little bit higher. Your loan terms, and then the prepayment penalty there. You'll take a hit on with AmWest. 2-year PPP. Mega Capital, Quantic does not have PPP. Okay? Any questions there? None? All right. How does this program work? Okay. Oh, here it is. So, yeah. So, the biggest thing we're going to spend time in is on documentation. Okay. So the program in itself is very simple. You know, you're not providing tax returns and W-2s and pay stubs, obviously. Okay. You're not even necessarily, in some cases here, and we'll go over that, providing bank statements. You are providing a profit and loss. Have you guys all seen what a profit and loss looks like, right? Okay. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I mean, I'm going to share you something. Okay. A profit and loss can look like something like this. Okay. Rogner, why do you have this? None of your business. Okay, but this is a profit and loss, right? So it has the dates, the cover. This was 8 months, but this was an interim. Gross profits, your income, you have a gross profit. You may have cost of goods here. Oh, there it is. Cost of goods sold here. Then that's your net gross profit. Your expenses, ultimately your net income. So this company here, okay, is basically saying in 8 months made $90,000. Okay, does that make sense? So what is that? About like $11,000 a month. Okay, $11,000 now. Guess what? Became the qualifying income for this particular business. Okay, so you have it. So you submit it, and instead of looking at cash flowing based on tax returns, pay stubs, W-2s, we're going off the P&L. Now this P&L, many times, and we'll get into that, does need to be approved by a professional tax preparer, a CTEC or an EA, and even sometimes a P10. Do look into the requirements, because every lender is different. So we're going to go over that right now. Okay, so that's going to be the most important part of this piece, actually. Do you guys have any questions right now before I jump into that? Any questions? Yeah, sounds good so far, right? So you could tell your business owner, client, borrower now, hey, you need cash? Yeah, but Alex, Paul, Freddie, I don't cash flow. I don't want to pay Uncle Sam, and I know my tax returns don't look good, and I can't qualify for anything. It's like, well, look, I could help you. If you have a ton of equity in your house, I do, but I can't pull out cash. Well, let me help you. We have what's called a P&L program. And basically, instead of looking at, using your tax returns and all that, and even bank statements, we are just going to qualify your income based off of a P&L. Okay. And then obviously the question can go into, I'm going to be honest and say, it can kind of go down to, down a rabbit hole. Okay. It does require, because I said, right, it's going to require some type of designation, some type of taxpayer designation to sign off on it. Right. If you have a CPA that's, pretty kosher, you got a good relationship, conversation, something like this, guys, right? Hey, CPA, I'm the borrower now. Hey, CPA, I ring up my CPA. Hey, CPA, look, I need a little extra cash. I got a house that has a ton of equity, but I can't access it. So obviously my tax returns don't look good. But my lender, my loan officer said there's this thing called the P&L program. Okay. It's like, okay, CPA goes, okay. And then you say, look, I know that my tax returns, look like as such, right? How I submitted to the IRS, but they work off of P&Ls. So can we make this a little bit more realistic now, right? So the question is, did you, the business owner, did you really need to expense $87,000 in travels and meal? Probably not, right? Maybe it's closer to five. Boom, there's $82,000 of additional income for you guys, right? Did you really, I don't know what other things I could think of right now. Did you really make this many, $5,000 in donations? No, let's take that out. There's another $5,000 added back to your cash flow, right? Did you really spend $100 and something thousand in marketing? Like, did you really spend $12,000 a month in marketing? No, it was really closer to $8,000. Boom, there's another $48,000 annually that you can add. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Right? So you're having that conversation. Look, I'm not saying go and say you didn't pay your employees, but you're having that conversation with the CPA or your tax preparer, now providing you a P&L that's a little bit more real, right? Because we all know we're fudging the numbers, or they are, so that they can minimize their tax liability. A P&L, though, does not have to be an audited one, right? Many a times it can just be simply off your QuickBooks, the business owner's QuickBooks, and looking at it and saying, and providing it to the CPA and saying, hey, this is more realistic. There's obviously going to be a lot more annual cash flow and go on with it. I'm going to stop there because this is my response to when I see a P&L. I wasn't a part of it. I told you what needed to be done. Many times the borrowers are asking, hey, what kind of income do I need to see? I tell them, hey, based on your debt to income ratio of you have this card payment, these credit cards that need to be qualified for the debt, and this monthly mortgage payment, or your mortgage payment plus the proposed monthly payment, you need about $20,000 of income every month. That's it. I'm just delivering the message. What they do with it and what I see, I don't question. All I know is I have a P&L that's signed off by a CPA, right? You guys understand? And then you're flowing with it, okay? Now, that being said, for the sake of time, I'm going to show you the matrices of these lenders, because this is the most important part to me, okay? So it's about documenting and verifying, or how that P&L gets verified. Do you guys see this? Here it is. Is this big enough, guys, for you guys to see? Okay, so we're gonna look at AmWest first. You know what? I'm gonna do Quantic. So these are the guidelines.
Rhonda, can you zoom in a little bit? It's a little blurry.
Okay, how's that?
Better, yeah.
Okay, so this is Quantic. I will share you these guidelines. They're easily accessible, but here it is. Okay, so for Quantic, or Quantic, sorry, I keep saying Quantic. Quantic, okay, they're pretty loose about this. Hold on. Let me just make sure I'm in the right section for sure. Okay, for self-employed borrowers, okay, they have to be at least self-employed for 1 year, but in the same line as business for 2 years, okay? There has to be some type of licensing, registration, or certification. This is going to be typical with all three of them. An internet search. They will do an internet search, guys. Okay? But when you think of internet search, it can just literally be a Google listing. Okay? Or this one here. You provide them an LLC search. Like you guys all know this, right? The state of California business search. Okay? Or they provide articles of incorporation. They're just one way or another, they need to be able to find your business online. Okay. Now for a Quantic, okay, they will allow a CPA, an accountant, any tax preparer or enrolled arranger. Their requirements for this is much looser than some. Okay, and you have to provide a 12-month bank statement. You're detailing this length of relationship with the borrower, borrower's position. They want a little narrative basically from the CPA. Okay, when the business started, is it in good standing? Okay, that's Quantic. You'll see the subtle differences between each of the lenders though. With Mega Capital, okay, they only allow or accept a P&L that's prepared by a CPA, CTEC, or an EA. So no accountant. What else? What was the other difference? As far as a tax preparer, there's different tax preparers. I wish Freddie was on, but here with Mega, they only allow someone with a CTEC designation. Okay. Now, with Quantic or with Mega, okay, so you'll notice here, okay, if you read through this, okay, for sake of time, I'm not going to go over it. They do not require bank statements to validate the P&L. With Mega Capital, 2 months business bank statements must be provided to support the P&L. It has to be within 85%. Okay, so in other words, if your P&L, based on your P&L, you're trying to qualify $10,000, but your bank statements only show deposits of $6,000, it's not going to fly. Okay, it will need to show about $8,500 a month in your bank statements. Okay, now this one here, it's a little bit more restrictive with Mega Capital, but it works in the sense of the rates are significantly better. Okay. Finally, AmWest, okay, self-employed borrower. Let me zoom in here. Again, this is the only one I have yet to do. Here, same thing, business license for 2 years. This one's just like Mega Capital, CPA, CTEC, and EA. Okay, no accountant or other type of tax preparer. And then I don't believe business bank statements are required. Yeah, business bank statements or otherwise it would stay there in that section. But business bank statements are not required. Okay, so business bank statements are not required. Okay, so in kind of ranking the order of like easiest to perhaps hardest, also aligns with the rates. You have Quantic, they're the most loose, but their rates are highest. I believe the rate I did was 11. At the time, it was 10.5 or 11. Then Quantic or Mega Capitals was the lowest rate. I think it was 8.5. And Brenda, can you confirm those? And then if you have it off the top of your head or not. And AmWest, I don't know as I haven't done it, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be somewhere north of 8 to 9%. Okay, higher than Mega Capitals, as they don't require business bank statements. Any questions regarding the program or these programs? No? You guys are good with it? Something you guys can sell? Yeah? Okay. So takeaways today, guys. Manufacturing homes, VA-IRRRLs, no employment, no income validation, owner-occupied 80% program. Guys, that's nearly as close to I don't know if you guys were alive back, I was barely alive. Back in prior to 2008, where they had the NINA, no income, no assets loan files, right? That really contributed to the market crash. This is just a step above it, guys. Scary. Okay, take what you want out of it, but hey, they're offering it. More lenders now. It's not just Change, and there was one more. I think it was Carrington that has it, but now we see that Champions has it. And then finally, the P&L Second, guys. Okay, P&L Second. You know a business owner. I did one most recently with through Mega. my Dr. Day Ritt. He owns 3 dental practices. He cashed out $350,000 using a P&L program. Okay. Got 4 different programs you guys can go out in the marketplace. No excuses. Go out and sell. Have conversations. If nothing else, guys, have a great, fantastic week. See you guys.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.